These days, WWE loves to tout its PG product, and it's not hard to understand why. Parents feel comfortable taking their young children to live events, tuning into Raw and SmackDown every week, and most importantly, spending shitloads on merchandise every year. But the company's product is not always the cupcakes and rainbows we're led to believe. Since the unofficial kickoff of WWE's decision to tone down content in 2008, it's been home to some fairly dodgy stuff that wasn't strictly PG. Here's looking at you, Brock Lesnar. Please don't hurt me! With that in mind, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture, and these are the 10 most controversial storylines of WWE's PG era. Number 10. The Nexus Invasion. The initial arrival of the Nexus was WWE television done at its best. It was unpredictable, wildly chaotic, and surprisingly violent for the PG era. It instantly set the wrestling world buzzing as the young group of rebels sought to avenge their treatment on the dismal NXT game show, featuring all this nonsense. The upstarts demolished not only John Cena and CM Punk, but also tore the ring apart. No one was safe. Even announcer Justin Roberts was choked unconscious by a marauding Daniel Bryan. Naughty. However, the real controversy lay in the storyline's limp conclusion. The Insurgents wasn't designed to get a group of new talent over at all, but to remind fans that John Cena's bloody good, isn't he? Hey, isn't he good? Look how good he is. Go on, buy his stuff. Buy it! Just 2 months in, WWE Superman overcame the numbers advantage, and Nexus were tomorrow's chip paper. Waste of my bloody time! Number 9. AJ Lee is crazy. The humiliation of Daniel Bryan's Adam Cleary wet snuggle length loss to Sheamus at WrestleMania 28 launched WWE's raggiest bastard into a tirade against on-screen squeeze AJ Lee. Being scapegoated in such a demeaning manner caused poor old AJ to snap, and she was subsequently cast as a basket case by WWE for the next 3 years. Not like they've ever done that before. Oh, except for this time. Oh, and this one, and who could forget this mad cow, eh? Ugh. The storyline suggested that all women are emotionally unstable and that only they would react so wildly to heartbreak. Not to mention that it massively stigmatized mental illness with its repeated suggestion that AJ was bipolar. Though the storyline helped propel Lee to the top of WWE, it hardly forgives the writing staff's ignorance. Number 8. The humiliation of Vickie Guerrero. After the tragically sudden death of her husband Eddie, WWE offered a devastated Vickie Guerrero a lifeline by employing her. Apparently, that also gave them the right to humiliate and degrade the widow for her entire tenure. Guerrero was extraordinary in the heel role, capable of generating genuine heat with 2 words that some can't manage in an entire career, mentioning no names. The ritual humiliation extended to regularly referring to Vickie as a pig, making fun of her weight, and mocking the judgment of any wrestler who entered a romance with the GM. Be a star, guys! To Vickie's credit, she made a virtue of being the company's butt monkey, taking it in her stride and making money, when many others may quite rightly have chosen to walk away. Number 7. Burying Zack Ryder. In 2011, Zack Ryder's YouTube show captured the imagination of wrestling fans. Soon, bros were hijacking episodes of WWE programming and voicing their desire for a Ryder push. At TLC in December 2011, they finally got what they wanted when he defeated Dolph Ziggler to win the US Championship in an emotionally charged battle. Unfortunately, it was all downhill from here for Ryder, who was buried like my nan. He was destroyed by Kane, confined to a wheelchair, and made to look like the inadequate bestie of John Cena. And no one wants that. Number 6. Exploiting Paul Bearer's death. In 2013, the wrestling industry lost one of its finest managers when William Paul Bearer Moody passed away at the age of 58. As with many things, it didn't take WWE long to exploit for storyline purposes. With WrestleMania 29 on the horizon and a main event level match between Undertaker and CM Punk lacking the personal edge one would expect from a marquee bout, the decision was made for Punk to mock the passing of the future Hall of Famer. Oh, lovely. In the ultimate act of disrespect and an angle designed specifically to drum up controversy, Punk emptied BEARER'S ashes onto The Undertaker. I'm not making this up. A phrase we say far too often regarding WWE. Now, the match delivered, essentially erasing from the minds of fans the offensive build that went into it, but the troublesome exploitation of Moody's death remains one of the most controversial stories of the PG era. Number 5. Brock Lesnar conquers the streak. WrestleMania 30 featured the most unexpected and unforgettable moments in the event's long and illustrious history. No, not the Vickie Guerrero Invitational. It was, in fact, when Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker to end his storied undefeated streak. The unsettling silence that filled the Superdome in New Orleans was haunting as the new reality slowly set in. I mean, for God's sake, even f***ing Paul Heyman was speechless. The demise of the streak also ended the safest moneymaker on the Mania card. As witnessed by the sentiments captured in social media and the comments on many an internet article covering the event, it also killed the childhoods of several long-time wrestling fans who had never known a period in which The Undertaker was not unstoppable at the show of shows. Number 4. Matt Hardy, arsonist and attempted murderer. Jeff Hardy ended 2008 as WWE champion and the most popular guy in the industry. Everyone and their dog was absolutely thrilled for the charismatic enigma. Everybody but his brother, anyway. Matt broke a chair over his successful sibling at Royal Rumble 2009, and further assaults followed, including a hit and run and a suspicious pyro malfunction. Hey, who remembers pyro? Only one man was to blame. The most controversial moment by far, though, came when Matt suggested he was responsible for a very real house fire that had cost Jeff his home and beloved dog Jack, the goodest of boys. The angle might have given the feud that bit of extra personal needle, but was it really necessary? Does someone need to attempt bloody homicide before we start taking the animosity seriously? According to Vince, yep. Number 3. Randy Orton and IED. In early 2009, WWE were absolutely obsessed with getting Randy Orton over as a heel. Obviously, the solution was to program him with the lovable Triple H leading into WrestleMania 25. Oh, excuse me, saying WrestleMania 25 has made me... What a load of shit that was. On the basis that everybody adores their in-laws, nope. Orton began picking off the McMahon family one by one. He delivered sickening punt kicks to both Vince and Shane before shocking everybody by taking Stephanie out with an RKO and then rounding first base. Orton blamed the violence on intermittent explosive disorder, a condition causing, quote, sudden episodes of impulsive, aggressive, violent behaviour or angry verbal outbursts, disproportionate to the situation. Once more, WWE had used a very real medical disorder to heal one of their on-screen characters, all the while having it undermined by commentators questioning the validity of Orton's claims. Cheers for helping people take mental illness seriously, WWE. You're great. Number 2. We the People. Back in 2013, WWE, with the subtlety of a sledgehammer, satirized Tea Partiers with the characters Jack Swagger and Zeb Coulter strongly supporting the deportation of illegal immigrants. Mexicans came under fire from the duo, who pledged their allegiance to the land of the apparently not that free via their We the People taunt. Whenever WWE tries to tap into current affairs, nuance gets power slammed and it tends to end in controversy. Same deal here. The angle ultimately did nothing to help Swagger, and before long, he and Zeb settled into a mid-card role. What started off as a strong idea with main event potential soon developed into a storyline which outraged more than it entertained. Number 1. the pipe bomb. Workplace frustration's a funny thing. Either it can force a man to quit or fuel him to take a stand. On the 27th of June 2011, CM Punk grabbed a microphone and took the latter option, transforming his WWE career in the process. A furious Punk railed against his mishandling, the idea that someone of John Cena's caliber was better than him, and the overwhelming sycophantic stupidity that transpired behind the curtain. Who knew, eh? Best of all, he called out Vince McMahon for being an accidental millionaire whilst lambasting his, quote, idiotic daughter and doofus son-in-law. Mwah! Punk read the riot act to everybody, from the owner of the company to the fans themselves, even the ones hanging on his every word. The moment was as glorious as it was controversial, gaining WWE widespread attention and shooting Punk to a position on the card he should have occupied years ago. And then... Anyway, why was it so popular? Simple. He was speaking for all of us. Nothing beats the truth, and nothing is as controversial either.
Hello there, you've made it all the way to the end of the video, and as part of my designated 18 hours of community service, I'm here to tell you that we have a number of other channels available for you to subscribe to, as well as other slightly, possibly not related videos for you to watch. So please do one of the things to my left or right, otherwise I have to pick up leaves on the roadside.